Hey everyone, this is Troy from TROYPOINT.com, and in this video I will show you how to supercharge the new $19 on Google TV 4K Android box sold by Walmart. You can find my in-depth review for this Android TV box linked below, along with everything else that I reference in this tutorial. In this video I will show you how to speed up menu and screen transitions, get rid of bloatware, set up the TROYPOINT Toolbox, sideload apps, set up an alternative app store, display sideloaded apps on Google TV Launcher, set up mouse toggle, test download and upload speeds, kill tasks running in the background, install a third-party launcher, and expand internal storage. I've included timestamps in the video description so you can quickly hop around the various parts of the video if you would like. Okay, the first thing I want to do is go into settings. I'm going to click the gear icon. I'm going to click System, click About, and then click System Update. If there are any updates, go ahead and apply them. Now, something else you may notice, when you hover over the gear icon, there may be a message down here that you have an update for your remote control. Go ahead and press that to update that as well. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go back into Settings, System, About. I'm going to hover over Android TV OS build, and I'm going to click this 7 times. And it says you are now a developer. What this does is it enables developer options. So now when I click the back button on my remote, there's a new menu item towards the bottom here called Developer Options. I'm going to go into that, and there's a few things I want to turn on in here. The first one is USB debugging. Now this is going to allow me to set up a third-party launcher later in the tutorial. So I'm going to turn this on. Now if you're planning on expanding internal storage with a USB drive, it's very important that you watch this entire video because there's something special we have to do with this once we've set up the entire device. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to change all 3 of these options here to 0.5. This will increase the speed between screen and menu transitions. So all of these should be at 0.5. And the only other change I'm going to make in here is force allow apps on external. Later in this video, I will be expanding internal storage with a USB drive. This needs to be on for that to happen. Okay, now I'm going to go back again, and now I'm going to go into apps. The first thing I want to do in here is go into security. And I want to turn off the option that says scan apps with Play Protect. So I'm going to click that. Both of these should be shut off. And the reason for that is sometimes when we go to sideload various third-party applications, Android may flag those as insecure and they won't allow us to install them. And that's a reason I personally run a VPN on my device. We'll get to that here in a little bit. All right, I'm going to back out of that. Go back again. I'm going to go into System, Storage, and one thing I want to show you is that right now there's only 3.1 gigabytes of available storage left on the Google TV Android box. Yes, it does come with 8 gigabytes of storage, but as you can see here, it's already being taken up by the operating system and quite a few applications. Now, something I'm going to also do right now is I'm going to free up some cache data. You'll see there's 105 megabytes. So I'm going to click that, click OK. Really didn't decrease it that much, but that is something you can do to free up some space. And now I'm going to go into apps, see all apps, and you're going to see here there's all kinds of various applications that have been installed by default. And I'm going to get rid of all of these that I'm not going to use. Now it's important to note you can't get rid of YouTube, YouTube Music, or Netflix. These are built into the operating system, but I can get rid of all these others that I'm personally not going to use. So to do that, this first one here, I'm going to click Apple TV, uninstall, OK, and now I'm going to go through the list and get rid of the others. Okay, I've uninstalled all the applications that I personally do not need. I'm going to click back. And now let's take a look at what we have available. And as you can see here, we gained about 600 megabytes. Now this does come with limited internal storage, and I will show how you can expand that later in this tutorial so you can run applications off your USB drive. Okay, next I'm going to install the free downloader application that will allow us to sideload apps. I'm going to hover over apps, move down, and there's something I want to show you about Google TV. There is a bug. I'm going to click search for apps. I've typed in downloader. I'm going to click search.
Sorry, downloader isn't available.
Sorry, downloader isn't available on this TV. It gives you the option to open the Play Store. Go ahead and do that right away. If it disappears before you have that chance, simply hold down on the microphone on the remote and say Open Play Store. Open Play Store.
Sure.
And now I'm going to move up, hover over search, click the microphone, click while using the app, downloader. I'm going to click install. Okay, downloader has been installed, and there's two other apps I want to install. Analytics. I'm going to install Analytics Speed Test. All right, I'm going to click back. GeoPages. And I'm going to install the GeoPages browser. And we'll get to these apps later in the tutorial. Okay guys, I've got everything I need from the Google Play Store. I'm going to go back to the home screen. I'm going to move down. I'm going to launch Downloader. Click Allow. Click OK. I'm going to press the up button on my remote. Put the cursor in the URL box. Click the select button on the remote again. And now I'm going to type in 250.931. This will open the TROYPOINT toolbox. Hit enter. Now the TROYPOINT toolbox allows us to install free applications not available within the Google Play Store. I use this on a regular basis, so I do want to add this to my favorites section in the downloader app. I'm going to hold down on the select button of the remote for a few seconds. Click add current page to favorites. Click the back button to get rid of the keyboard. And now I'm going to click save. You can also access this by clicking the hamburger menu top right hand corner. Add current page to favorites. And now you will notice this has been added to my favorites section. And now when I click this, I don't have to wait for the 5-second load time. And I don't have to type in the code. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. There's all kinds of various applications that you can install through this toolbox. I'm going to start by installing the Surfshark VPN application. Yes, you can get this through Google Play Store. The problem is many times they're offering an older version. This here is always pointing to the most recent stable release of Surfshark. I'm going to click download. Now the first time we use downloader, we're going to see this prompt. We must click settings and turn on unknown apps for downloader. And now I'm going to click install. Okay, I'm not going to open any of these apps just yet. I'm going to click done, and now I'm going to click the back button, and I want to delete the installation file. There's no need to leave these on the device. And now I'm going to go through here and install the remaining applications that I need for this tutorial, and that includes Wolf Launcher, Sideload Launcher, Launcher Manager for Android TV, Aptoid TV, Android TV Mouse Toggle, and Fast Task Killer. All right, all the applications have been installed. I'm going to go back to the home screen, and you should see most of them here in this list. Now it's very easy to rearrange these shortcuts to your liking. I always put Surfshark VPN at the beginning of the list due to the fact that I do use this on a regular basis. So to move this to the front, I'm going to highlight it, hold down on the select button of the remote for a few seconds, click move, and now I can use my arrows on the remote to place it where I want it. I'm going to put it right here, press the select or OK button again, and that drops it into place. I'm going to put downloader behind that. And you'll see bottom left-hand corner, it shows to press the back button to finish move mode. So I'm going to press that, and now these are all in place. Now the next thing I want to do is enable Surfshark VPN. I'm going to launch that. Now most of these third-party apps we're using haven't been vetted by a reputable source, and they simply can't be trusted. I always connect to Surfshark VPN prior to using any of these questionable apps, especially now that all this information is coming out about malware on Android TV boxes and various harmful apps. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my Surfshark VPN account. I will leave a link in the video description for a Surfshark VPN discount. Okay, I'm now logged in. Now I'm going to choose fastest location. Click OK. It says VPN is connected, and you will see in the green box there that they have assigned me with an anonymous IP address, or they are attempting to. You'll see that change here in a little bit, and there it is. My on Google TV Android box is now protected. And I'm just going to leave this running in the background, so now I'm going to press the home button on my remote to go back to the home screen. Okay, now I'm going to cover some of these apps with you that I installed. Aptoid TV is an alternative app store, provides access to all kinds of applications not available within Google Play. Now, there are numerous apps that people use on their phones and tablets, and those are not available within the Google Play Store for Android TV devices, but usually you can get them through here. Now, they do require a mouse toggle, which we will get to here in a little bit. But you will see here there's all kinds of different applications that can be installed through the Aptoid TV app. You can find various categories here. You can also use the search function up here if you're looking for something. I always suggest if you can't find something in Google Play Store, give this a shot before attempting to sideload an application. More than likely this will have the app you're looking for, especially if it's in the Google Play Store that's usually on phones and tablets. All right, back to the home screen. Another application that we installed was Sideload Launcher. I'm going to open that, click OK. And the reason we want to use this is because sometimes we sideload apps onto the device where the shortcuts don't show within the Google TV or Android TV user interface. One good example of that is Fast Task Killer. You'll notice here, Fast Task Killer is not in this list. And by using Sideload Launcher, we can get to all of the apps on the device, whether or not they show up within the user interface of Google TV. Now, speaking of Fast Task Killer, this is just a simple app that kills all the running processes in the background, and it should help speed up your system. All you need to do is click it. You'll see on the bottom, memory released 156 megabytes. But you will notice that our VPN is still running in the background, so it does not affect that. Okay, let's open GeoPages. The biggest question we always get is how can I install Chrome browser on an Android TV box? Unfortunately, Chrome doesn't work well. Again, that's meant for phones and tablets. They don't have a version capable of running on Android TV or Google TV. GeoPages works great with the remote. I'm going to go ahead and click the Accept button here. I'm going to choose Standard Mode, skip Tour, move up, put the cursor in the URL box, click the Select button, and we'll just go to the TROYPOINT website as an example. Hit Search. We can now navigate the website on the television screen. Now, there are all kinds of cool things that you can do with this browser. I'm not going to go through all those details due to the fact that I already have a tutorial for this, and I will link to that in the video description. Back to the home screen, and the next application is the speed test. The Analytics speed test, this provides valuable information on what your current download and upload speeds are. And as you can see there, after it goes through the test, it gives you a chart and it shows you what you should be capable of streaming with your current download speed. And you'll see here, I have 66 megabits per second, and that's with my VPN on, and I'm capable of streaming 8K content. And really all you need for 1080p content is about 8 to 10 megabits per second. 4K requires about 15 to 20. Anything higher than what that chart shows isn't going to help you with streaming. If you're downloading, yes, it will help you download files faster, but as far as streaming, don't get too hung up on these download numbers. Now, if your download numbers are poor, I suggest maybe moving the box, maybe set it on top of your TV rather than letting it hang in the back so the Wi-Fi signal has a better chance of reaching your wireless router, or you can also reposition your router in your home so it's closer to your on Google TV Android box. All right, now we're going to dive into mouse toggle for Android TV. Now, I did mention earlier with Aptoid TV, you can install apps that are meant for phones and tablets, but usually you need a mouse toggle to use those specific apps. So I'm going to launch mouse toggle for Android TV. First thing I want to do is set up permissions. Allow display over other apps. And we want to turn that on for MATVT. Now I'm going to click the back button, back again, and you'll see there once I do that it says overlay permissions granted. I'm going to hit setup permissions again, and now I want to move down and turn on mouse toggle service. Click enable, okay. Click configuration, and it takes us back to this main screen here. And now you're going to see all 4 of those permissions are green. Next, I need to assign a button on the remote to activate mouse toggle. So I'm going to press detect, and now it says press the key on the remote for 3 seconds, then release it to set it as boss key. Now I'm going to use the gear icon button on my remote, which is for settings. That won't interfere with going into settings because we will long press this button to activate mouse mode. So I'm going to hold down on the settings button of my remote for 3 seconds. You'll see here we have a menu that just popped up. I'm going to click the back button to get rid of that. And now I'm going to press yes. 83 is the number that's assigned for the settings button, and we're going to press yes to activate that. And you'll see there new boss key is 83. Now I'm going to hold down on the settings button for a few seconds and we'll see if it's activated. And there it is. Now, once in mouse mode, if I press the settings button again, scroll mode enabled. Now, the nice thing about this is if you're on a web page or any page that goes below the fold at the bottom of the TV, you can press down and it's going to scroll the page. Now, if I press the settings button again on the remote, scroll mode disabled, it goes back to regular mouse mode. And then if I long press the button, it goes back to regular mode. For some reason, that menu flies out whenever we do that. Just click the back button and that will take care of that. Okay, mouse toggle has been activated. Go back to the home screen. And now it's time to install a third-party launcher. Many people are getting fed up with all these various advertisements for different streaming services that come with Google TV and Android TV, and we can install a third-party launcher with a simple user interface to get rid of all this. Now, there were 2 apps that we installed earlier. One was Wolf Launcher, that's going to be our third-party launcher, and the other was Launcher Manager. We're going to go ahead now and activate Wolf Launcher with Launcher Manager. I'm going to press that, and I'm going to click Enable Custom Launcher. You must click the box that says Always Allow from this computer, move down, and then click Allow. And you'll see there on the screen under Current Launcher it says Wolf Launcher. Now when I press the home button on my remote, it opens Wolf Launcher, and now we can come in here and customize this to our liking. And again, I do have an in-depth tutorial on how to customize Wolf Launcher. I will link to that in the video description below. Now, for some reason you do not want to use this, I will show you how to switch back to the default Google TV interface. All you need to do is go back into Launcher Manager and then click Disable Custom Launcher. Click the home button on the remote, and we're now back to the default user interface. And the last thing we're going to do is expand internal storage with a USB drive and OTG cable. So at this time, I'm going to unplug my on Google TV Android box, and I'm going to plug in an OTG cable so I can connect a USB drive to the box. Since the on Android TV box comes with limited storage, we can expand storage and run applications directly from the USB drive. Simply connect an OTG cable to the device and then plug the power cord into the OTG cable. Now, if you don't have one of these, I will link to the OTG cable and the USB drive that I'm using in this tutorial. I'll leave links for that in the video description. Now, I'm not going to plug the USB drive in just yet. Okay, I'm going to plug the on Google TV Android box back into the TV and power it back on. Now, while we're waiting for this to boot, a few important notes. This feature has been very hit and miss for me depending on the USB drive that I'm using. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Also, I have one of these that just completely quit working and it will no longer recognize the USB drive. Keep in mind, you only paid $19 for this device. I only suggest doing this if you truly need the extra space for additional apps. I personally only use 10 or so apps on my device, so I don't do this, but everyone is different and you may need to install a lot of apps. It's important to note that you should only put apps on the USB drive that aren't used very often and aren't resource intensive. I would never run my VPN or any app like Kodi from the USB drive. It's also important to note that the app data from the applications is still stored on the internal storage. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and insert my SanDisk 64 gigabyte drive into the OTG cable. You'll see there at the top, USB drive. Now, if your USB drive is not recognized, I suggest using the free Rufus app and format it as a large FAT32 disk. And again, link for that in the video description. I'm going to hover over Settings, move down. I'm going to click USB drive. I'm going to click Set Up as Device Storage. And then Format. USB storage reconnected. SanDisk is formatted. Okay, now it's asking me to move data to the USB drive. I'm going to click Move Now. And you'll see it says Migrated Data to USB drive. Okay, from this point forward, any application that we install will be installed onto the USB drive. But we can move these back and forth. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to go into Settings. I suggest choosing Always for settings. That's going to always take us into Android settings, and that's where we want to go. I'm going to go into Apps. Let's use the Downloader app as an example. I'm going to click that, and you're going to see here it says storage used. It's currently residing on internal storage. I'm going to click that, and now I'm going to click USB drive. That's going to move the Downloader app over to the USB drive. Let's go ahead and test it. Go back over to Favorites. We'll launch the TROYPOINT Toolbox, make sure that's working, and it is. We'll go back. Now let's move it back to internal storage. And now it's back on internal storage. Now we have one more very important setting that we need to change. I'm going to go back into System, Developer Options, and you want to turn off USB debugging as soon as you finish this process. If you don't, when your device reboots, you will not see your USB drive. I'm going to turn this off. Let's go ahead and reboot and make sure the USB reattaches. Okay, our on Google TV Android box has rebooted. Let's go back into settings, system, storage, and you're going to see the USB drive is there like it should be. And then you'll see USB storage reconnected, the little message at the bottom. Now, some of you may ask, yeah, but I need USB debugging to run Launcher Manager so I can use a third-party launcher such as Wolf. And I'll show you how you can get around that. Let's go back. We'll go into Developer Options. USB debugging, I'm going to turn it on. Click OK. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the home screen. I'm going to go into Launcher Manager, enable Custom Launcher, click Always Allow from this computer if this comes up, and it might not come up because you already did that earlier. Click Allow. Current launcher says Wolf Launcher. I'm going to hit the Home button on my remote. The launcher loads as it should. Now I'm going to long press the Select or OK button on my remote while hovering over one of those apps. We're going to go into Android settings. We come right back into USB debugging. If it doesn't come back to this exact page, more than likely it's going to start here on settings. You're going to go into System, Developer Options, and now we can turn off USB debugging because we've already made our changes. Click the Home button. Let's restart again and make sure that Wolf launches. And there it is. I'm going to go into Android settings again. System. Storage. And you'll see here the USB drive did reconnect. Bottom you'll see USB storage reconnected. Hit the Home button and everything is back to normal. Now, one thing I am noticing is the fact that my wireless network has become disconnected. So we'll go back into Android settings, network and internet, and for some reason I'm required now to put my password back in that I've already set. So when we do this, there must be something that's stripping that and making us put our credentials back in for the wireless network. And we are connected again to the network. And just a few notes about using a third-party launcher that's really nice is the fact that you can launch Google Play Store directly from this location. We don't have that bug like we do with Google TV where you have to open the Play Store with the microphone, and also the fact that we don't need Sideload Launcher to display various applications that we sideload that don't show in the Google TV interface. As you can see right here, this is Fast Task Killer, and that was not showing on the Google TV launcher. And again, link for how to customize Wolf Launcher is located in the video description below. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the links in the video description because there are a lot of resources that go with this video that will help you with additional tips and tricks. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to be notified when I release new videos like this in the future. Have an awesome day, and thanks for following TROYPOINT.